My name is Robert Maina, and I'm a realtor. I do real estate investment here in Nairobi with a company called Certified Homes. It is a duly registered company in Kenya where we specialize in affordable houses and land, general property, and we're happy that we are here. As an individual, I would say I've got about 10 years, but as a company, we have been here for the last 1 year. And of course, there are so many dynamics that keep changing in the industry. And as a person who is on ground and hands-on, you must know the dynamics, you must learn them, and of course, you must adopt and of course, go with them. Real estate is a funny industry or sector in Kenya, whereby what people may think would be the leading factors to success, I would say they are not the same. Because some would think of the capital intensity, would think of availability of resources and so forth. But for me, I would say it starts with personal attributes. You can talk of integrity, transparency, honesty, things that matter when it comes to handling other people's money. Because real estate is an industry that is full of issues because you're handling other people's money. People trust you with money, and in this money, you're supposed to do this and that. But at the end of the day, the question is, have you delivered what you promised? So I would say the attributes that I directly the factors that I directly attribute to the success of this industry is personal attributes and not forgetting honesty and integrity. Well, when the current Kenyan government sat and thought of the Big Four agenda, housing, affordable housing was one of them. And this is one thing that we factored, or rather we concentrated on, and we decided that we shall not directly, but of course join that initiative of offering affordable houses. And this is what we did because we understand research has shown that we have over 200,000 shortage of units per year in Kenya, meaning we have more than 200,000 people going without units, going without houses every year. And then the government had that plan on how to fill the gap. And of course, it has not been possible with the government because of the many challenges. And there have been, revenue issues with the government. And so we as a private sector, we came in specifically to fill this. I would say in 5-10 years to come, as a long-term goal, our idea and our primary mandate is to make sure that we have people getting units affordably. And I would say there are so many things that come along with this. And one of them is when you talk about affordability, are we giving people value? Because I could talk of affordability and fail to attach value alongside. And of course, what we do as Certified Homes is making sure we identify places that, of course, people will be comfortable with. We mind their security, we mind their comfort, we mind their accessibility, we mind about everything that pertains a good lifestyle. And then this is what we present to our clients, to our customers. Because at the end of the day, our desire and our long-term goal is to make sure that we have people who are living comfortably, courtesy of Certified Homes. One thing I would say is that real estate in Kenya is somehow misinterpreted. People who are not genuine in the industry. We have gurus who have been there for the longest, and they are doing it. So you'll find it is attracting a lot of mixed reactions from clients and the general public, simply because at the end of the day, what matters is what is bringing you on board as a private entity, as an individual, or as a corporate. What is attracting you into the sector? So point number one, let us not forget that we don't have at any given time vacuum in any industry. So people are confusing coming into the industry with a mentality of like getting this money. It has been in the airwaves that real estate is one of the richest sectors in Kenya. But I would say this: if you are really interested in real estate, and I would major in land and houses. Probably that's what comprises a big percentage in real estate. And I would say this, when someone is more willing to come on board, please come with an interest, come with an agenda of solving someone who has nowhere to call home problem. So come with that attitude. I want to make sure someone who has no home, who has no place they can call their own, come with that agenda of providing that solution. Then the rest of things, logistics, money, everything else will fall in place, so long as your motive and agenda is very okay. Number two, don't go for loan to do things. Don't burden yourself with the resources. You can start small. Don't just you don't have to start big. Start small, and that's what we say here. You just have to start. Take that initiative. Start small, grow big. And at the end of the day, you'll become that household name. As the words are in this context, we're talking about commercial real estate and residential real estate. Commercial real estate, as it is we'll talk of that which is business oriented. It's not between now the developer and the developer and the client. It's beyond, because it influences the economy of that particular area. So when it comes to residential real estate, this is whereby you have to, the deal is mainly between the contractor and the client for residential purposes, whereby you find, like now when we are doing apartments like Sukari Heights, you find we do these for residential purposes. Though it has a commercial aspect, it is a one-off thing. But when you talk about commercial real estate, you'll find that it is influencing a lot of parties. It is influencing a lot of resources, and more so, it has an economical approach even to the authorities. There's no set timelines that one should expect returns. What we call a return on investment is basically set between the time that you are able to recover the money invested in your investment. Let's say you've taken a unit that is worth 10 million. This unit, be it an apartment or a standalone or a commercial space, and you have bought this space at 10 million, before you start talking of now return on your investment, you have to recover the money invested therein. And of course, now this is influenced by one, the market price of that area, in terms of if it's a rental place or space. Tell me, how much how much do people pay within the area? That is one, the market rate of that unit. Number two, you'll find that it also depends on the package you give to your unit. If you want to say, let's say you want to do a furnished apartment, it is not the same as someone who will just do a mere apartment, because you find if you go up here in Kilimani, you'll find furnished apartments. This apartment goes for 250,000 a month, for example. That person requires only 4 months to pocket $1 million. You see, someone else have it along a different area, maybe the same unit, but again it goes for 80,000. These two people will have different durations to recover their money before they start talking about their investment, return on investment. Number two, when you talk about this thing, there are people who do it as a long-term, investment. Like myself, I get a unit that I don't care how long it will take, so long as I have some security backup. If today I want to get 10 million, I know I have a unit I can sell and get my 10 million. So at the end of the day, what will happen? You'll find that even the agenda, all the motive, all the investment plan behind this investor matters, rather determines how long this person will be able to recover their money. We have completed all our projects, but not because we are so perfect. Challenges come to us all. And what I would say is, maybe in line with that, is that I would admit here that we have done an estate that had zero profit. If we thought of probably getting units, a profit on top, that would mean compromising the standards. And this has been, this was brought by the inflation aspect. Corona came when nobody expected. There was kind of a mute or a silent moment in the whole economy, and upon resumption, everything was like going up in prices. So do you go back to your clients and tell them, now we had sold this unit at 4 million, now I want you to do 4.5 million because the steel and then other things have gone up? No, what you do, you sacrifice your bit, give them what you promised, but at the end of the day, what you have earned is the integrity value into your industry and to you as an individual and as a developer. Motivation of doing things even when there's no profit, I would say, and I've learned from African individuals and also Aryans. And I would say, I would quote here, we have the Indians. These are people who have been in the industry, in the market for the longest, maybe, if I'm not wrong. But why? Because they don't go for volumes of profits. They go for small margins, but they consider the span they are in the market. So what drives us, even when there is no motivation, when there is no money, when there is no profit, what motivates us is to know that I may do this project at a very small margin. I may do a project like the one we did without profit, and of course completed and hand over. But what we have at the back of our mind is these are the same people who will come for the next project. So we by driving force, or as a certified homes, what drives us is we deliver without compromising, knowing that these are the same people who recommend. And I would say here, there's no best marketing than that of recommendations or referrals. So at the end of the day, what matters is how did you complete that project. So let profit come after, let the margins come after, but not the driving force. Certified Homes, I would say, is a self-marketing entity. And why I'm saying it's a self-marketing entity is because we have experience. In the past, we have been in the market and we understand what has been happening in the real estate market. So as for Certified Homes, I would say we have done our bit, through media, through social media, through person-to-person marketing. But our mainstream channel of marketing is referrals. This is whereby you find a project that has got 80 units, you have sold over 50% on referral basis. So you find at the end of the day, the trust you've earned from your clients, from your customers, has been able to replace all to stand for 50% marketing cost. And this is why I'm saying confidently the referral approach, or rather the referral marketing, is one of the best, because one, there's no marketing you do, and this is earned. Now you have to cultivate trust, you have to cultivate integrity, you have to cultivate transparency for you to be to fit in the market, the marketing approach of referral, or the referral marketing approach.
You are watching TV47, the home of untold stories. As the country gears up, of untold stories.
Other risks that are involved are, I would say, sometimes we are faced with the challenges that we didn't deserve, that we are not partakers, that we are not part of. Because when, and I believe this is with every other industry, probably apart from, the fast moving goods, all the consumables, but on any investment that is of maybe asset related, many other times that people face challenges that they are not theirs. I would say this: we have done that one without profit, but that was way much better than having being victimized because of another entity or because of probably another person who has not delivered. So that is the biggest challenge that we need to sanitize. We need to bring to compression projects that we start for clients. And at the end of the day, what will matter is we'll have cleared the fear, the uncertainty, the doubts that has always been there. You have seen that, for instance, a company that does bread, for example, a bakery company that does bread, and in one way or the other, you find that there has been identified a problem with a certain brand in their bread. Maybe spoiled bread, poisoning breads or something. The entire market will be affected on that particular week. The good thing about consumables, we forget very fast and we go back to the same food. But you'll find that for that particular day and probably 1 week or 2 weeks, people will shun from bread, regardless of the company or the brand that is associated with a mess. So this is what happens with the real estate. You could stand a challenge that you have to overcome on behalf of someone probably who mess, whether willingly or unwillingly, knowingly or not. You have to face the challenge together. Kenya is not only about housing that we said to be exaggerating our prices. I would say this: sometimes it is from the bottom upwards, and in this case, I mean when we don't have regulating bodies or agents on the construction materials, we are exposed to exploitation. And because yours is there and you have the cap or the margin that you may need, you'll find that you are forced to extend the same. If you're exploited from day one at the quarry where you get your bricks, all your stones, all your whatever material is, you'll find that cost has to be carried all the way onto the clients, because I'll come with a BQ and out of the bill of quantity, I'll set my price for the unit. And now what does this mean? My profit had nothing to do with all what happened before. So who will carry this burden is a client. Number two, you'll find that Kenyan, we are so competitive. It is a good question about exaggeration in prices, but to some bits, it has also been very healthy in offering, competitive market. And out of competitive market, who benefits? Who stands to benefit is a consumer. If today I'm selling a product at 100 shillings and you come in, you sell the same product at 200 shillings or 150. So mine is likely to move fast. What will happen at one time, you'll have to come down, because I'm not likely to go up in the sense my market is already flowing. So what I would say is the prices about the houses in Kenya is not a big concern, because these are things that you can do. You can formulate your own budgets, you can formulate your own bill of quantity, and of course table it and compare between the two. I would say us as developers, what we are facing as the biggest challenge is the cost of production, the cost of construction. It is very high because everything is going up every other day, and probably other countries, I don't know, but for us, we have to think about the cost of production. And in this case, it's all about construction and the materials involved. Anything that is successful, perhaps it has some research attached to it. Ask yourself, I want to do these kind of houses, I want to target this market, because at the end of the day, what will matter, and what will matter whether you make profit or not, is the kind of market you target. Now, in every business in this world, you have to have the target market. If I do tomatoes today, I know I must keep close to hotels. I must keep close to, such entities that consume the same. So when you're starting such a thing, you need to ask yourself, I'm doing this at this time, and my market is categorically, this is my market. So this is where I want to get my share. Whereas you come in, I would say this, think about the unexploited areas, you know, in a certain particular space or area of market. Now, you'll find at the end of the day what will determine your price is a cost of production, and not only in construction, everywhere. It is cost of production plus the marketing cost plus any other overhead bills. When you put them together, and of course this will be guided by the time frame, you know, the timeline that you give your if I'm paying a guard, a watchman, to guard a construction site, you know, and I'm not sure how long this will be, this construction will take place, then it means I'll not be able to formulate a budget to the letter. You know, until completion, how much am I expecting to spend on this project? So once you set all the nitty-gritties, things that people assume, if you pay someone 1,000 per day for a construction site, and then you take 3 years, how much is that? It is 1,000 times 365 times 3. You'll find at the end of the day you have a lot of money, almost $1 million, paying a guard. And then that million is not distributed across your units when you are setting up the pricing. So the nitty-gritties plus the cost of production plus the cost of land, then you'll be able to, plus the cost of marketing, will give you a very good leeway of coming up with your prices. Number two, and the last one on the pricing, you'll find that at the end of the day, do research and know how people are selling. Because again, you can come with a too low prices, and despite being genuine and quality stuff, people tend to doubt what you're giving them. If I'm selling at 1,000 and you can't sell the same thing at 600, I'll question that. Of course, we attribute cheap with poor quality. Number two, don't go too high. Again, people always go for the affordability. So what you need to do is just set your mind properly, set your feet on it, but don't rush. At the end of the day, what will matter is your delivery. Taxation in Kenya is quite dynamic from sector to sector, and in real estate is to some bits, because there are things that are exempted, but with the current challenges, financial and economical challenges, you find again everything is almost at par. So these are not guaranteed stuff, because the idea to exempt real estate from some taxes or taxations was basically because it was a government's idea of providing affordable houses. But to some bits it is very difficult, because it is also procedural. You have to follow some steps, some procedures before you get there. And the question is, how much, now that we are working from home, how many people are in offices to do all this and that? So I would say this, purely it is not something that you can bank on, but where possible and where applicable, go for it. But it's not 100% sure that you'll be exempted from the same. Kenya's perspective, rather Kenya's future of real estate is a bit unpredictable. Because we have people venturing into the same industry year after year, day after day. At the same time, you have people exiting the same day after day. So what we need to do is to have a regulation, or rather a regulatory body that will govern real estate in Kenya. And when talk about real estate in Kenya, not only houses, and I started by saying that, remember about land. Talk about Kiambu County, the neighboring county here. People say it is a bedroom to Nairobi County, which is very true. Now, we knew Kiambu County to be a plantational county or area zone days before. But today, every plantation, talk of coffee, talk of tea, talk of whatever it is, it has been brought down to pave way for construction and houses. So this is what I would say. Construction, or rather real estate investment in Kenya has got a very bright future. We have new models and designs coming up. Gone are the days that you used to have, those colonial designs from family to family, prototyping. We have got engineers who are working so well to bring Kenya into limelight as far as real estate is concerned. I would say this: it is upon we stakeholders to involve, or rather to have a body, whether governmental or non-governmental, but a body that, an association that belongs to developers, and that would somehow put a cap on what is happening in the industry. And number two, you'll find that if we could have people who are quality and delivery driven, real estate in Kenya is the best place you can have such. I watched someone who is investing from Australia in apartments in Mombasa, and this person is doing it online. This person is having several apartments, and they are doing it without being fair. So what does this tell you? People, and these apartments are done by Indians, the so-called Wahindi. They are the people who are on site. What do I say? We have a very good market if at all we could be willing to provide what is supposed to be provided. And that will only come when people come together, and when there will be a regulating or governing body, whether governmental or non-governmental. What sustains us in the market as certified homes? Number two, we have also raised, we are also very competitive when it comes to quality. Give people quality. I always say people don't have problem with spending their money, but they want to see value for that money they are spending. Number three, you'll find certified homes has a track record. We have not been able, or rather we have not been caught in any complaint. We've not been caught in any, in any saga or anything. That's the other thing. And this is what I started by saying: talk of integrity, transparency, and honesty. Those three factors. And of course, service delivery. Deliver, and then you'll find your space. My advice to anyone who is willing, have a lot of, joining real estate, I would say this: you're late to join the industry, but again, come with a mentality of solving someone's problem. Come with a mentality of providing solution to homeless people who have been in Nairobi for the longest 20, 30, 40 years, but they don't have a place to call home. What is the difference? What is this big obstacle between them and their home? The biggest obstacle is it is you who is willing to join the industry and provide solution, and you are still not doing it. So the market is ripe. Just know where to position yourself and give people solution to their problems.